At this point, you've probably heard about Exp Realty and all the benefits that come with it, or at least a good portion of it. Well, one of the things that often comes up is EXP stock, the ability for you, the opportunity for you to generate wealth through the stock. Now, that's all well and good. That's awesome. There are 5 ways to earn stock, but do you know the fine print? Do you know what's actually the conditions of you receiving the stock? Well, if you're anything like me, the answer is probably heck no. I don't know what contingencies there are. I don't know anything about the vesting. I don't know anything about what the requirements are for me to even get this stock. Now, this was me prior to joining EXP. Once I did join EXP, then I did some more due diligence and really understood what the requirements were. So I want to share with you what those requirements happen to be at this point in time. Now, before we actually break this open, 2 quick things. 80% of you are not subscribed to the channel, so let's take care of that right now. Number 2, EXP is a publicly traded company, or the parent company is publicly traded. So EXPI is the ticker symbol. There is no financial representations being made in this video. I'm just going to share with you the fine print. So understand that I cannot tell you if the stock is going to go up, down, sideways, diagonally, or anything like that, mostly because I don't have that capability. But just understand that there's no financial claims being made here. All right, so first let's understand that all agents and brokers that are in good standing with Exp Realty are eligible to receive stock. So it doesn't matter if you joined Exp Realty that morning or you have been part of EXP for over 10 years. You have the ability and really the privilege to earn stock. And the most common way that you can earn stock at Exp Realty is through your first close. So upon an agent's first completed transaction in each calendar year, so this repeats, the agent will be granted an award of $200 worth of EXPI, which is EXP World Holdings. Now, what exactly does this mean when it comes to the number of shares? Well, agents are awarded a set number of shares of EXPI common stock on the last trading day in the qualifying month, the award date. The number of shares awarded is determined by using the closing market price of EXPI common stock on the award date. And when it comes to vesting, meaning when you actually have access to these shares, awards are subject to 3 years of continuous service and in good standing with Exp Realty from the award date. Upon satisfaction of the vesting period, the underlying shares will be issued. All right, so what does this mean? Number 1, every single year on your first transaction, you receive $200, and that is $200 of EXPI. So dependent on how much the stock is valued is dependent on how many awards you're going to get, how many stock shares you're going to get. So if the stock is $20 a share, well, then $200 divided by $20, you have 10 shares of EXPI. But what's super important for you to remember is that vesting, you have to have 3 years of continual service with Exp Realty in good standing in order for you to cash out this stock. So understand that even though you have been awarded this stock, you still don't have access to it until you have 3 years of actual continual service in good standing. And the second way that you earn stock at EXP is through your sponsor awards, meaning when an agent directly attracts another agent to the company, aka Exp Realty, and upon the sponsored agent's first completed transaction with Exp Realty, the sponsoring agent will be granted an award of $400 worth of EXPI common stock, which very similar to the first close. When it comes to the numbers of shares, agents are awarded a set number of shares of EXPI common stock on the last trading day in the qualifying month, aka the award date. The number of shares awarded is determined by using the closing market price of EXPI common stock on that award date. And the vesting period is super important here. Please lean in, because a lot of agents do not know this. A lot of sponsors and sponsored agents have no clue that this is a thing. Sponsor awards require that both, I repeat, both the sponsoring agent and the sponsored agent remain with Exp Realty and in good standing for 3 years from the award date. Upon satisfaction of the vesting period, the underlying shares will be issued. All right, so what does that mean? Well, you as an agent have the ability of sponsoring another agent into Exp Realty and receive stock, $400 worth, as a result of that, whenever they do their first transaction. This is a one-time thing. This is not a yearly thing. So once you sponsor an agent and they close their first transaction at Exp Realty, you get issued this type of stock. Now the calculation is the exact same as the other. So if you have $400 that's awarded to you and the stock is $20, then now it's actually 20 shares of stock because you actually got $400 worth. But it's actually in the vesting that a lot of agents have no clue that this is even a thing. It's 3 years worth of vesting that not only is the agent that closed their first transaction with you as a sponsor, not only do they have to stay and be in good standing, but you of course have to stay and be in good standing. So both of you have to be there. So there's often times where some of the agents that you sponsor and they go on and close their first transaction, if they leave, not only are they leaving this stock on the table, but they're also leaving your quote unquote stock that you've been awarded on the table, because this nullifies it. Both of you have to be there. So you may ride it out forever and for always, but the agents that come in, make their first transaction, you get awarded $400. Well, if they bounce before that vesting, you're out that money. And I shouldn't say it that way. In all reality, it's an award that was given to you and it's something that really wasn't vested. So there is a contingency for you to truly have that in your piggy bank and actually have access to cash that out. Yes, it's been awarded to you, but you do not have the full right to do with it whatever you want until year 3 has gone by. All right, so now let's talk about the capped award. This means that if an agent goes on to cap at Exp Realty, which equates to $16,000, that's the cap at $16,000 at Exp Realty. Upon capping during each anniversary year, agents will be granted an award of $400 worth of EXPI. Very much the same calculation when it comes to the numbers of shares. Agents are awarded a set number of shares of EXPI, blah, 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 blah. So it's the same thing. Now, when it comes to vesting, awards are subject to the 3 years of continuous service in good standing with Exp Realty from the award date. Upon satisfaction of the vesting period, the underlying shares will be issued. So what does this say? Well, when you go on to cap at Exp Realty, which again, the cap is $16,000, not only will you go from an 80-20 split to a 100% commission, so there's no split to speak of, you will also receive $400 of EXPI stock. And this is calculated the same way and has the same vesting period as the other 2 types of stock awards. So we're not going to go into that. All right, so let's get to the big money award, the Icon Agent Award, where in any year that an agent achieves Icon status, the agent can earn up to $16,000 worth of EXPI stock. Now, I'll link up what it actually takes for you to become an Icon agent in very detailed format down below, so check out the link there. But for all intents and purposes, to be an Icon agent, just think of 2 distinct tracks. Either after you cap, meaning after you go to 100% commission, after you cap, you do 20 more transactions, or this is not an and, or you have over $500 in GCI. Those are the 2 tracks that you can take to become an Icon agent. Now again, full details, everything that you ever want to know about the Icon program that will give you eligibility for this type of stock award will be linked down below. So again, I'll link up the Icon, what that actually looks like in sales numbers down below, so don't forget to do that. But when it comes to how the stock is actually awarded, this is where we have some nuance. Remember, you have up to $16,000 eligibility that gets converted into stock. This is something that you have already paid into the brokerage in order for you to cap. So it's this $16,000 that's already with EXP. Now you have the ability of earning that back. So half of that is through the production award, an award for $8,000 worth of EXP World Holdings. Common stock is granted in the qualifying month. Production awards are subject to 3 years of continuous service and in good standing with Exp Realty from the award date. Upon satisfaction of the vesting period, the underlying shares will be issued. So what is this saying? Well, this is saying that half of that $16,000, aka $8,000, is already awarded to you. So simply because you became an Icon, agent, which is a monumental feat, so congratulations. When you do that, become an ICON agent, half of the $16,000, aka $8,000, is already awarded to you. There's really no contingency. You've already done that. That's the production award. Now, if you want an additional $4,000 worth of EXPI stock, then we're talking about the Cultural Requirement Award, which is granted when the cultural requirement is met by the 12-month anniversary of the original ICON award date. This stock award has a 2-year vesting period. Shares will be issued as long as an ICON agent remains licensed exclusively. Let's hear that again, exclusively with Exp Realty at the 2-year vesting mark. All right, so what even are cultural requirements? What does that even mean? Well, number one, you can become part of the mentor program, or you can become an instructor at Exp University. This is where you're teaching other agents what's up. You can become part of the ICONVERSATIONS, become a panelist for that. You can become a moderator for that. There's several different ways, several different options that you can meet this cultural requirement. But please remember that this $4,000 has a 2-year vesting period requirement. So this is a little change of pace from the 3 years that we're accustomed to hearing. Here we're looking at 2 years. Now, if you want the remainder $4,000 that you're eligible for, remember $8,000 gets issued to you from the production award. So that's $8,000 plus the $4,000 for the Cultural Requirement Award. Now we're up to 12. There's $4,000 to get to that $16,000, and that comes in the form of the event attendance. ICON agents are also eligible to receive an additional $2,000 worth of EXPI common stock in the month following attendance of each company annual event. So there's 2 annual events at EXP. One of them is Shareholder Summit and the other is EXPCon. After ICON status is achieved and during their ICON benefit year, these shares are not subject to vesting. So hear that again. After ICON status is achieved during their ICON benefit year, these shares are not subject to vesting. All right, so what does this mean? Well, after you ICON at EXP, after that, you have a year to meet these 2 requirements if you want that additional $2,000 per event. So you can go to shareholders or you can go to EXPCon and get $2,000 a piece the following month of those events. And as a reminder, these 2 events are not subject to vesting, so they're yours. And now we have the 5th way to get stock, which is the Agent Equity Program. You can enroll to be paid 5% of every transaction commission with EXPI stock issued at a 10% discount. So this means that you can issue 5% of your commission that you've earned to purchase stock at a 10% discount. Now, it's totally voluntary. You don't have to do this. All agents and brokers in good standing with EXP are eligible to participate in the program, but nobody is forced to. You get to elect that. And when it comes to the price of issued shares, it's very similar to the others. The price for shares issued under the program shall be at a 10% discount to the fair market value of EXPI's common stock as determined by the closing market price of EXPI's common stock on the last trading date of the month during which the closing on transactions from which a shares for payment has been authorized. So getting a 10% discount on the stock that you purchase is not a bad deal. Now, again, a huge reminder, I can't tell you that EXP stock is going to go up, down, sideways, or diagonally. I can only give you the information that we have. So these are the 5 ways that you can earn stock at Exp Realty, which is radically different than any other brokerage out there that you're going to find. Now, if you're looking for additional information on Exp Realty or are curious about joining EXP, I have a gift down below that I think you're going to like, so check it out.